Yeah, so
it's kind of like what you talked about before, though. Modeling.
right, modeling. Yeah, same, yeah. So like while you're talking, we have a value in mind that you're going to be transparent about while you're facilitating conversation. Another idea is like as a group, you do an activity together. So like for example, whenever I was leading this one small group, we wanted to figure out like the stewardship of our lives piece. Okay? And it was a value that was like that, but it wasn't worded exactly like that. And so we thought, okay, as a group, let's figure out tonight. Let's figure out we're living on the street, or I'm living on the street. We're hosting this group on the street. How can we be a steward of this area, this street, and bless this street? Like, do something that's positive for this area. And so we all came up with a ton of different ideas. And one of the ideas that we actually incorporated is that we went around to every house and we invited everyone up into my small little apartment and had a huge barbecue, which none of my people in the group except for one showed up to help me out. And so I'm freaking out. I'm trying to cook for all these people. I'm just sweating all over the place. And it was beautiful, but it was all bunch of people from the neighborhood who showed up with me and my other person from the group, and we blessed them. We affirmed them. And so that's kind of an idea. Like as a group, you could do something like that. So facilitating as a group. Anything else?
You can also facilitate individually. One of the things my husband and I took really seriously was that dinner thing we started about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Every Sunday, there's a party at the Share house.
yes.
We have not missed it. We didn't even miss it the weekend my dad passed. We have it. And I'm telling you, it has blessed my family because there's a lot of nonsense going on there. And so, but since Sunday is a bloom day for us.
That's
It's a
awesome.
bloom day because I don't know if Wednesday and Friday closer together.
That's
Because we're doing things.
Yeah. And even hearing that story, I mean that encouraged me now. Like I walk out here and I think, I can do something good. That's
You'd be surprised the people that will show up.
yeah.
People that you didn't see for it. That now you're friends with.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
It really is.
I need that to happen in Long Beach. That's what I
Just,
need to
you know
happen.
what? Just my neighbors, because I live in Concordia, and there's a lot of cultural diversity there, and maybe people don't always live there all the time, too. They fly in and fly out, whatever. And, I've just had, I have now a great Iranian friend who I've dropped off at the airport. Just going back to Iran for a while. And I have an Italian friend, and I have a lady from Island of Man. And there are all these new friends.
That's awesome.
And they're all foreigners, which is perfect. My husband's Japanese, my mom's German.
Right. And you see these once every other month or once
No, every Sunday.
Every Sunday?
Every Sunday. If you come to my house, there's food.
All right. That's good.
And
Yeah.
we
We'll
don't
probably
have to
show up
go
next
there.
week.
You show up
Thanks
at
for
my
the
house,
invite.
and there's tons of food. And we love to
That's
eat,
awesome.
too, so there's lots of time.
And you do it nearby. Okay.
There, don't tell
That's
Brandon.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We'll have the
show
whole
up.
posse show up. That's awesome. See, and I think that so that's facilitating opportunity. Like maybe that's another idea. Like while you're in your group, you say, hey, does anyone have a story where they can share about this value or whatever? And that affirms everyone. They're like, wow, I can do that. That's awesome. Real quick, we'll talk about the goals, just because you guys haven't read this stuff, and so you can go back over it. It's all there. But I'll explain it real quickly, and then I'll have Paul come up here. So the goals for our Focal Point groups, and this is the first rough go at it. So I'm sure this will change over time, we'll modify and all that jazz. But one of the goals that we want to have is that we want to build community and accountability among ourselves and our neighbors. Which I don't know what that means by our neighbors, but we want to build community with our neighbors and accountability with each other. I think that in order to incorporate the values, you've got to have people that are speaking into you, that are praying for you, that are helping to encourage you, that are kind of calling you out, that are helping to mend brokenness in your life. It's so sweet. And I think John and I talked a lot about this with Paul. One of the things that he's begun to see here at Pacific Point is that the church is beginning to grow, but there needs to be that internal system that's helping to serve people. because, certain people in leadership can't do all the work. And so really what we see, and this is our hope, is that all of the Focal Point leaders function as pastors. And section 2 will talk much more thoroughly about that. But every single person is a Focal Point leader. You're going to be a pastor. Everyone is a pastor already. Following Jesus Christ, everyone's a pastor. But you're going to really feel the weight of that when you lead a group. And so that's one of the goals we want to see that happen. In fact, I'm not going to write it down because it won't take too long. And I can't write it down. So, number 2, reinforce the church's mission, values, and vision. We've already kind of talked about that. 3, allow more investment discussion on the Sunday message and its implications. Really quick about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to put these Focal Point groups together in 8-week stints. And so we'll launch them 8 weeks, boom, they'll kind of finish. I mean, they can continue on, but basically we're just calling Focal Point facilitators to go 8 weeks, stop, go again, a month later, 8 weeks, stop. And I think it's the third 8 weeks, so the first one will start, we're going to try to put that in sync with the message. And so the message that's given on Sunday acts as a catalyst for conversation within the groups. That way, we're focusing the entire church upon what we're talking about Sunday, and we're not scattered abroad talking about 1,000 other things in addition to what's talked about on Sunday. I mean, how many of you guys have heard a message on Sunday, whether here at this church or another church, and you literally forget it on Monday or Tuesday? Right? Like, you just, and even though it was a good message, like, you're like, wow, I was so moved by that. And then Monday comes around, it's like, okay, see you later, And so what we want to do with these groups is we want to help us kind of focus in on the message and really ask some serious questions like, how does this apply to my life? Was I convicted? Do I need to be healed in this area? Is this being incorporated in my life? Things like that. And so we're hoping to do that for the first 8 weeks. Then, the next 2 8 weeks, you can sync your discussion if you want to with the message, or you can deviate and do your own thing. And so we're just asking people to say, for 8 weeks, at least once out of the year, we'll sync our discussion to the message so we can all kind of be together in this. And that's cool too, because the next week, when you come together for church, we can all kind of talk about what the discussion was like in our groups and things like that. But then the other 2 following 8-week stints, you can do your own thing. If you feel like God's put something in your heart, you've got a lot of people in your group, and they're in financial distress, you can do a whole Bible study on finances, or whatever, sexual addiction, whatever it might be. So we want to give you that freedom to figure out for yourself what your group really needs to hear if the Sunday message might not be completely relevant. Does that kind of make sense? Any questions regarding that? Thoughts?
Are you going to provide some curriculum that coincides
Yeah.
with? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So what we'll do is on Monday, we'll shoot out to every Focal Point leader, and we'll talk a lot about this in the 3rd section, but we'll shoot out the curriculum. And once again, you've got flexibility, do whatever you want, but we'll have a ton of different questions and kind of little teaching caveats that you can use as a resource with your group, and kind of use that information to teach, and then different questions that you can use to navigate.
It's all reference to the Bible.
Yes. Hopefully. Yeah, no, it will be. Yeah, it's all biblical stuff. We'll have, and for like teaching caveats, we'll give you like a little bit of background information on different verses that they might not be getting in Sunday, or other things that are in addition to what they're hearing on Sunday, just so it's a little, still fresh and new for them.